we have 8
8
fun facts about swinging.
Yes, so not that all nude resorts are swinging resorts.
I wouldn't think they are.
Different things, although they can kind of intermingle. So we thought we would talk a little bit about swinging.
Okay,
Things
awesome.
you may or may not know. I haven't read through these. Or did you know all of these facts?
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
What, do you think people will be surprised a bit?
I think it's very accurate. I actually went through the article. I'm the one who reads the articles beforehand.
Okay.
I went through the article and I thought it was very dead on.
Do you know from experience, or have you just recently?
We've said this on the show.
Swinger?
We've said this on the show. I've been to I like to call it a sex club.
Okay, but it's a swinger.
But it's
club.
a swinger club. Yes.
Are you a swinger? Would you identify yourself as one?
I wouldn't necessarily identify myself as a swinger, but I have partaken in some fun. How's that?
In the lifestyle.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Well, here's 8 facts about swinging.
All right.
Number 1, despite what you might think, swingers are not all old, fat, and ugly. The majority are between 25 and 40. Some are in model condition, others have fuller figures, but many are quite sexy. There's a good mix of your average person, your professional, your parents, and your business owners.
And I could not agree even more.
There you go.
I actually so
you can't stereotype.
I saw two things at the swinger club that I went to.
Okay.
I saw that. And I'm talking just like education level.
Okay.
The education level was either very low or very high.
Nothing in between.
The in between was just not there. I don't know what happened.
That's weird.
I don't know what happened kind of in between, but the education level was either questionable at best.
Okay.
Or they were like doctors and attorneys
Interesting.
and people that have gone to school for a long time. So I don't know what that says about anything, but it was interesting.
Huh.
Not a whole lot of just, I graduated college.
Okay.
I'm an art major. No, none of that.
Okay.
It was weird.
Interesting. Maybe it was the place you went to. I don't know.
Yeah,
Number 2, just because a couple swings doesn't mean they'll have sex with anyone or everyone. Some men automatically think that because a woman is a swinger, she's available and will want to have sex with him. Many swingers are no more easy than your average person.
And I would say that is true.
Right.
Because you still have the choice of having sex with whomever you want.
Yeah.
Just
it doesn't
because
mean they're a hooker.
Yeah, just because
They're
you're
just
there
gonna
doesn't
fuck
mean you
anyone.
can. Yeah, you can't just grab a girl and take her to a cave. It's not medieval times.
It's still selective.
Yes.
Okay.
And usually it's couples that show up.
Right.
There is the single girls that show up, and they're called unicorns. But
Because why?
because they're rare.
Ah.
Yes, almost impossible to find.
That's funny.
But obviously you can't just grab a girl and go have sex with her. Just because she's there doesn't mean that you get to have sex with her.
Okay. Number 3.
Okay.
Swingers generally aren't nymphomaniacs. They aren't looking for their next fix to throw down on a bed and take willing advantage of them. It's like when some guys find out a woman is a prostitute, they automatically treat them like a slut and assume they'll have sex with anyone and love it. Not the case. Yes, swingers generally like sex. They may be more adventurous, but they don't necessarily need sex 3 times a day.
Okay.
Okay.
That one I found interesting. I didn't know that.
Okay.
And by the way, real quick, listener Terry said, no one has asked me how far I've gone in sex.
Oh.
Well, how far have you gone in sex? Let us know.
There we go.
Yeah.
We're asking.
Are you a swinger? Are you into girls? Anal? Oral? Let us know.
Yeah.
The chat wants to know.
Off limits? I don't know.
What's off limits?
Yeah. Number 4. Swinger doesn't mean free to sleep with other people alone. The female counterpart of a swinging couple often gets asked by guys, so when can I have you to myself? This is one of the quickest ways to get stuck off the potential list. If you ever get invited to join a couple, respect the relationship and the people in it. It's a privilege to be invited.
That is true.
So you're not there to split up
That
the
is
couple.
true, because I would say that the definition of a swinger, not swinger, but the definition of a swinger would be a couple in a relationship that goes and has
no strings attached sex.
no strings attached, or sometimes
Or
it's strings
together.
attached. I mean, different swingers have different rules
Sure.
about how far they'll go in sex, but it's usually 2 couples.
Okay.
Usually that's how it works. 2 couples in a relationship who will swap.
Okay.
So it's not, and it's usually not guy with guy, girl with girl, but it's the guy with a guy, the guy with a girl, the girl with the other ones, right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swap partners.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Number 5. Many swingers like to flirt, but it doesn't mean they're ready to rip someone's clothes off and jump in bed with them. Swingers tend to be a little more flirtatious and free-spirited, and while there are exceptions to every rule, in general, it just means there's an interest, but not necessarily any rush to make it go any further.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is true.
So it's if they talk to you, it doesn't mean it's
on. If
Yeah.
you make eye contact,
It's on.
You have to fuck them.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Doesn't work like that.
Okay. Number 6. Just because they swing doesn't mean they're into kinky sex or fetishes. Some
true.
couples don't swap for intercourse, and some only have sex in the same room as another couple. This is called soft swinging. Whips and chains are not always used. People aren't always dressed in leather or latex. And a DP, double penetration, isn't as common as missionary
Okay.
is among traditional couples.
And I would say that is true because there's
It's usually not like two guys banging a chick.
it's one thing to be a swinger, one thing to be into BDSM. I don't think they come hand in hand. I think
they
they're
can.
well, yeah.
Just like non-swingers can be into that.
obviously,
Okay.
you can be into BDSM, but they don't have to come hand in hand.
Okay, got it. Number 7, swinging isn't a big wild orgy every time. Occasionally, yes, but not all the time. Sometimes it's just an extra person and it's tame.
I like
It's
that.
not always as
I like that. Occasionally, yeah.
it's not always as wild as some people think, with the money shots going in all directions, masses of naked bodies all writhing together in a big, hot, and heavy sexual pleasure pot by the pool or in the grotto. No, not
No.
always like that.
I would say that is true.
That's probably what you picture, though, isn't it?
Usually, from what I saw, it's usually 4 people. It is just 2 couples swapping. It is not a mass amount of people. It's not like a huge orgy where 30 people show up and it's just they run a train on everybody else. No, it's usually 2 couples.
You
and,
just go in a line.
yeah, you're like guy, girl, and you're just fucking. No,
Yeah.
no. It's
Switch.
not. Turn around and guy, girl, guy,
maybe
girl.
people do that. I don't know. Okay.
No, it's usually not like that.
Okay. And finally, swinging isn't a bowl in the center of the room where people throw their keys and then just go pick out someone for the night. Hell no. Swingers generally pick their sexual partners, get to know them a little, have some sort of attraction between them before leading them to the bedroom for some hot, passionate sex.
Which is what we said.
So it's almost like
you don't
dating.
grab
Not dating,
somebody and just
yeah.
drag them back to
You
your
would
cave.
talk to them.
Yeah, there still
Get
has
to
to be
know
some
'em.
sort of spark,
They don't
if you
just
want to call it.
hook you up with, like, you come in, they're like, oh, couple number 25, you're hooked up with couple number 8. Go.
Go. No,
Yeah.
exactly. No, that does
Yeah,
not happen.
you have 20 minutes in the back room. Go. Like 7 minutes in heaven when you're a kid. Is it
Ooh,
like that?
Yes, I used to love that. Yes, that is how my first girlfriend. That's how we kissed at parties. It was 7 minutes in heaven, and they lock you in, and
See?
it's
like
on like Donkey Kong.
So, from what I'm reading, I'm swinging.
Have you ever? You mentioned before that you've been to clubs.
Yes, but I wouldn't identify as a swinger.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've never partaken in swapping couples or anything like that. But I think voyeurism is another thing that people will go to
You can.
swinger clubs for, because you can see and be seen.
That is
You
true.
don't have to swap with anyone.
That is true.
Yeah, but that's also acceptable. And from my experience, people who are into that lifestyle are very understanding, and they respect everyone's boundaries, whatever they are.
Well, you
Just be upfront about it.
You
and
mentioned
you're good.
before the show when we were talking about the topic that it's actually not a meat market.
Not a meat
You thought it
market.
would be, but
That's
it's actually not.
Yeah.
Explain that part.
Yeah. Well, when I first went there, when you go to a club.
Well, not for me, but for girls.
No, for girls. When girls go to a club, you get hit on by all the guys. You're dancing. I've even been dancing with the guy I was with and had another guy behind him being like, hey, you want to... I'm like, dude, really?
I'm busy.
Yeah. Or,
Nice.
grab your ass or whatever. But I did not have... I thought it would be that way, but it was exactly the opposite when I went to
Oh,
a
that's
club.
nice.
It was very respectful. People would ask... you want to go
can
in
I
the
grab
back,
your ass, or what would they ask?
Are you interested? And, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. They're very upfront about it. No? Okay. Well,
Okay,
whatever.
see,
And they move on.
they know
find
there's-
someone else.
they know there's
It's not a
somebody
big
else
deal.
out there, right.
Or if you say, no, I'm not interested, then they just move on.
Oh, okay.
It's not a big deal.
So it's respectful. So
yeah,
that's
it's
good.
not
Okay.
just a meat market.
Okay.
Like most clubs.
That is true.
So-
By the way, real quick, listener
Yeah.
Terry said, BC, this is her
Her
boyfriend.
Okay.
His ex-boss and his wives are swingers,
Uh-huh.
and he was having an affair with a woman at work.
Oh, well, you know, swingers have affairs.
It always
too.
happens. I mean,
Yeah.
but
Anybody has affairs.
anyway, it can happen.
It doesn't
anywhere.
mean swingers are more likely to have affairs. Actually, I've read statistics that swingers are actually less likely to break up than people who don't swing.
And I would say that that makes a little sense
Mm-hmm.
because, well, if you get to fuck other chicks, then that whole need goes away.
Well, and it's usually within the confines of the relationship, but it can be different.
Right.
I will tell you, and I've told this story before, but speaking of swingers, shortly after I got divorced, I was talking to a guy that I knew from, you know, a long time back.
Okay.
And he told me he wanted to get together. Let's go out sometime, whatever. And then he mentions that he's married. I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. Yeah, we'll have coffee, whatever. He goes, but my wife doesn't care. We actually we have an open relationship. Which
Did he have like
could
a
be
signed permit from his wife or something?
He said, we have an open relationship, and our rules are we can do whoever we want as long as we don't have sex with them in our bed. Our bed is for us, and that's our rules. So open relationship versus swinging, I think it's a little different.
It sounds a little bit like bullshit.
Well,
How do you know that he really wasn't? I think he was just telling you that
Oh,
to
I
appease
didn't-
your.
I did not. I was like, no thanks, and that was it. I did not partake in that.
Because how would you verify that unless you knew the wife?
Oh, I don't give a shit. I
No,
mean,
but-
why would I care?
No, but I'm
yeah,
saying
it could-
unless you knew the wife and
But
she
there
said,
are
"Oh
the-
yeah, it's fine." then-
there are open relationships.
No, there is.
Which I think is a little different. It's kind of the same,
No,
but a little bit
I
different.
agree
than
that there
swinging.
is open relationships,
Yeah.
but if the guy's telling you this, it's a line.
Yeah, because I think usually swinging involves partners who like to see their partner get sexually gratified by someone else. Maybe
And
they
vice
want to
versa.
watch it. Maybe it's only
wanna
one-sided.
partake.
Maybe it's only the guy wants to see the girl get done by someone else.
That's a
But the
cuckold.
girl doesn't want to see the guy get
That
done.
would be a cuckold.
So, or vice versa. So that
Uh,
could happen as well.
Pussy hole?
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
But that could be part of it, or they both swap, but they have to stay in the same room, so
Right,
they're always
like I said,
together.
it would-
or they swap and they're
a-
in different rooms.
when there's a soft swap.
Yeah,
Which
Yeah.
what is it that it was? It was no intercourse. Is that what it was?
yeah.
No intercourse
Just
between
having
the
sex
couples?
in the
Right,
same room.
okay.
Yeah,
Right,
with another
okay.
couple. So all different kinds. Anyway, we want to thank our sponsors, and we have a new sponsor.
We do. We have a brand new sponsor.
Brand new sponsor.
Tell us about it.
Well, it is Kasidie.com. It's the social community for couples. And Kasidie.com is kind of like a Facebook for those interested in getting to know a little more about the swinging lifestyle or for swingers themselves.
That is correct.
So,
And if you go to our website and really on any page on the footer of the website,
Mm-hmm.
you will see the link to Kasidie.com. If you click on that, you get a 30-day free trial
that's
from
right.
Kasidie.com.
But you have to click through Beans on Crackers.
That is correct.